Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel for today's video. I wanted to talk to you about the narcissists and their lies. So let's jump in. The narcissists, when they come into your life, they tell lies. And that's essentially how they run this whole business on you. They use these lies to flip your world upside down, to get you off kilter, to get you out of balance. I spoke yesterday about how you get overloaded with having the double-mindedness, with the cohesive control. It's where you have this person that states that they love you and you see different. They say they're in an exclusive relationship with you, but your intuition and everything in your mind, heart, and body is telling you different, that they're cheating on you. And if you eventually stay with them long enough, you'll catch them cheating on you. When you catch them cheating on you, they will blame it on you, because everything has got to be your fault. This is just how they are. They are built to be self-righteous, arrogant, grandiose, entitled, to be perfect, and to be with an individual that has taken all of their boundaries down and let the narcissist run all over them. And a lot of times this is from a individual that was either pampered as a child, meaning a golden child, or has just determined they're going to be this way for whatever reason. Maybe some trauma did have an influence on them, but at the end of the day, you're going to be whoever you're going to be based on your innate self. Sometimes your mind will be different or your emotions will run different, but your innate spirit always stays the same, in my opinion, from birth. And all of the stuff that they talk on in psychology based on narcissism is theory. And so to call it fact is to lie. But if you've investigated the stuff for yourself, regardless of that, they lie all the time. And somebody who is an individual that is healthy, we all have lied and we will tell lies in the future. But if you tell a lie, you feel bad about it. It's not something that we try to do, that we concentrate on perfecting so that the lie will look true or sound true or act it out so it seems true. And this is what the narcissist does, and they don't just tell a few lies a day. I mean, their whole life is surrounded by a lie. And when you get involved with a pathological liar and cheater, and they're basically a thief too, because if they're not stealing from you physically, they're stealing from you mentally and emotionally. They're stealing from you the time that you waste on them, this time spent that you can never get back. A lot of people call it precious time because we only have so much here. And they're devouring anything good that's in your life, starting with your viewing of them, who they are, how you've sized them up, and what you have decided they were when you met them, because they come in with good lies, and because you didn't know them, you just have to go by their appearance and dialogue and how they seem to be. But you find shortly later on what you imagined and what you have assessed in the very beginning is not at all how they are toward the end of cycle one. They are a complete sham. And it will blow your mind toward the end of cycle one, because toward the end of cycle one, you're feeling like they feel every day because they threw all this negative energy on you. But at the same time, you still have truth in you. And you're kind of replaying everything. You're rewinding everything, reassessing, processing everything. And when you're doing that, it just hits you like a ton of bricks that this person is just a complete lie. And now you've met people that have lied, but to the extent, and depending on the spectrum of the narcissist, you know, I always say they come harder and worse. As you have moved on from one, the next one will come. You know, the Bible talks about this evil spirit or whatever that left a man came back 7 times stronger. And it makes me wonder if they come back 7 times stronger the next one. But nevertheless, they come back more powerful. And even if they didn't, it's just evil. But the ones that I've experienced came probably about 7 times stronger and more manipulative, more deceptive. And they are better at doing it. They're better at acting it out, and they're more creepy at the same time and more seductive. So they got the things, they're stronger in the things to take you down, the ones higher in the spectrum, and like seduction and manipulations. They're stronger at confusing you, manipulating you, and lying by admission, all these things. Lying by omission is a pretty huge one for a narcissist, because they're telling you sometimes, 70% truth. And so it's easy for them to tell that lie because it's what happened today, maybe, but they're not telling you the root of what changed the situation, or the whole plot is different. Where it takes place is the same, but how it happens exactly, the part that you need to know is where they'll lie. And so it's much easier for them to lie by omission, because even if you were to fact check it, unless you ask the right questions, you may get from whoever the recipient was that was with them, may agree with them. So being precise in your asking of questions when it comes to a narcissist is pretty huge. And a lot of times the way that they process things at this point in time, they're so corrupt that they talk about how you have to word things a certain way because maybe what they describe as love is not at all what you would define as love. So they may have an actual honest definition of it, what they believe love to be, but what love is truly defined as, if you were to look it up in a textbook, for instance, like we adhere and agree to, say, the Webster's dictionary, of what love is. And their answer to what love is to them, defined as, is maybe how you make them feel, or something sexual, or something like that. It's interesting because if you can get a narcissist to define, if you could word things in a way to get them to define it truly for what they believe it as, because some psychologists, psychiatrists, and counselors, they will talk on this about how, they say they loved them and they asked them to define what love was, and it was like, or anything, whatever it was, the topic of discussion, and it was so far from the truth of how we define it as humanity. I call us humanity because if there was ever an alien on this earth that looked like humanity but was not us, I would have to say this is what it would look like, because the narcissist is like that TV show Visitors from like outer space. I mean, these guys are like, and they were lizard people and lizards, and they think cold. They don't have no warmth, no cold reptilian heart and mind, and that's what they think like. But in that movie, I remember you could almost unzip their body or something, and it was a lizard man under there, and they actually ate humans or something like that. But it's like, that's how these guys are, man. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, it's something spiritual, because it's not human. I mean, yeah, they're there, and sometimes you see pieces of them in humanity, but at the end of the day, you don't even know if that's them or them playing on you as another new manipulation. So it's kind of like this. If you see this young child in them, for instance, which we've talked about before, sometimes you see this hateful demon, sometimes you see this little child, sometimes you'll see them acting like a mother or father trying to like reprimand you, and you'd be like, what? And so you see all these different characters, and then this, of course, they look like the villain, they look like the savior, the victim. They play all those roles pretty good. But what is interesting is the one time that you see the little child in them and you want to help them, well, then you find out that they're actually playing off of that too. They are just deceivers, and I don't think anybody has ever talked about them saying or doing anything good, except for the fact of them waking you up and your departure from them, really, and you growing to become a new you. That's why they come back to you. They come back to you for different things, and they'll stalk you. They stalk you when the supply they jumped to when they left you is crappy. They stalk you when they can't find a supply source as good as yours, and they miss your validation and miss your energy level. They stalk you because you may have healed. And all narcissists on a certain level know they're of the same breed. Now, sometimes they can, like, for instance, if they're dating each other, can love bomb one another and not know it for a time. But generally speaking, if they get to know somebody, it doesn't take them long, at least, to know that they're of the same kind. Because if you're faking, because narcissists have to fake and lie and put an act on every day. So you can see, if you're a narcissist, you're going to be able to, if they can see through our acts, they're going to be able to see through their own. And they know their own character. And so that's why they team up like a pack of wolves sometimes, and they'll come at you with a smear campaign or whatever, these flying monkeys and everything. But they are an interesting group of people. I almost feel like they spray you or something when they make you their source of supply, a primary or something. So they claim their territory or something, because I'll tell you, when I was getting stalked by those spirits after I unmasked the narcissist that I had left, I was being followed by spirits that were jumping or being in other people with this dead and stare. And I was like, man, did I get sprayed in the spirit realm or something? How do they know who I am, you know? Yeah, they're basically any nemesis in a movie. If you want to understand the character of a narcissist, just watch the news, or watch any character of anybody evil in the world, or any of those movies with the crazy nemesis in it. That's basically describing the narcissist, because they act like anything evil in this world. Whatever we're doing in this world evil, we were taught to by narcissists and that evil seed. And that's what is perpetuated and promoted in this world system. I call it the beast system, because that's what they call it in the word. But the beast system is basically promoting anything narcissism, because that's what runs the world. So they promote it to condition us and to make it the norm. That's why they're always pushing the note on things, whether it be social media, whether it be anything. Because that's where narcissism is going to the next level of evil. It's kind of like, if you look at the world 100 years ago, it had its evils, but and they were different and all of that. But when it comes to a lot of the divisive malice, maliciousness, it's a whole nother level today, and it's all that much more common. And the narcissist is just a deceiver. They were sent out to deceive you and to overload you with their deceptions, and from overloading you with their deceptions, they make you wobble and they turn you upside down, and then you get confused. And through the confusion, a lot of times you are forced to, if you stay in the relationship after that, to look to them for validation for everything, because hell, you don't know what's up and what's down, what's right and what's wrong, almost. So you don't feel sure about anything. So that's just a little bit about the narcissist and their lies. If you give me a like, subscription, and thumbs up. Love you all. Till next time. Peace. We out.